Hello everyone, and welcome to another Company Heroes 2 replay cast. My name is ATR, and today we're gonna have ourselves a 1v1 on Faymonville Approach. Our heroes today are going to be Mr. Plager, playing as the Soviet forces in the blue. His opponent in the red is going to be none other than CaptainSPrice, playing as the OKW forces in the red. So right off the bat, we see that Plager has gone for conscripts, as you would expect, although we did get a nice little streak of players going for tier 1 and seeing a lot of penal play last week. But this time, it looks like we're going to go vanilla, conscripts, and probably more conscripts after that. CaptainSPrice, for his part, is going for Volksgrenadiers, 2 to start with, and nothing out of the ordinary. His truck is back at base. A little bit stained there as it crushed the living in its path, but, well, you know, such things must happen. So anyways, we got Spryce laying down some sandbags as he captures the point. Did put down the sandbags in the middle of the point, which is a little bit odd, I suppose. I mean, he did have the map area and ability to lay it down more closer to the edge of the point, so that, again, if your opponent is going to use it, he at least can't cap at the same time, like here. But, yeah, you know, he is going to leave the Volksgrenadiers there, as he does have a Company squad staring it down across the field. None of them taking shots at each other because they're off range, but they are staring down each other and getting into each other's head. Plager on the left-hand side, sending his conscripts 2 at a time. Third one coming onto the field right now, going to be sent up to the north. Third Volksgrenadier squad is being produced for Spryce, which is coming out right now, and it looks like it is going to be going to the north as well. We got a Storm Pioneer squad up in the north, capturing the victory point, while around the center we have Volksgrenadiers moving down to the south, where the 2 conscript squads are currently roaming, and we still have that lone Volksgrenadier squad in the front of the map, just sitting there in some heavy cover. Not exactly sure that is ideal, but, well, that is what he's doing. We'll see if it pays off. 4th conscript squad coming onto the field for Plager. CaptainSPrice still only 3 Volks. We'll see if he does anything else. This Volksgrenadier squad is alone, so it's now getting flanked by another conscript squad that just sits on top of it, and the Volksgrenadier is forced away, as this other squad is, again, just sitting there in the cover. Truck not being utilized to push. Right-hand side, Volksgrens capturing territory. And not much else going on. Conscripts moving in that direction. The conscripts from the north were forced to retreat. Had to reinforce one, but I guess they ran a little bit too close to the Storm Pios, and the Storm Pios are going to do a lot of damage to them at close. Conscripts coming up for the flank on the Volksgrenadiers that were setting themselves up in the heavy cover of their sandbags. They are now taking quite a beating and are going to be flushed out of the map. Down to 3 men. Getting a little bit supported here by more Volksgrens. Volksgrens coming up behind the conscripts. The conscripts have taken some damage. 2 losses on each squad. 3rd one on this one. Volksgrenadiers focusing fire on that low conscript squad. Down to 2 men. Going to be making it out of there. And the 3rd Volksgrenadier squad comes up. And the conscripts are not going to be able to do too much. Combat engineers are getting themselves in the mix. They're also going to get themselves shot in the mix. But they do have a flamethrower now, which will be used against the cover. But thankfully for Mr. Spryce, he managed to push it away before a second flamethrower burst went off. So Plager taking quite a bit of damage, but also inflicting a decent amount of damage himself. Up in the north, we do see these Storm Pios engaging against conscripts. Down to 2 men, forced to retreat, running the gauntlet. They will make it out of there alive, and I just noticed I don't have water, and I'm going to die during this game. Anyways, conscripts trying to get some shots, but yeah, it's 2 men, so they're not going to die. But they do go for the strategic point, or victory point, I should say. And they're going to cap it just fine. More conscripts flooding onto the field. Volksgrenadiers in the center map, now pushing forward. And we still have... No, actually we do have... We have the battle group headquarters now on the field for Mr. Spryce. Going to be healing up his troops as they come back onto the base. And getting them reinforced at the same time. So, efficiency. Volksgrenadiers, left-hand side, capturing that fuel. Right-hand side on the fuel as well, we have conscripts and Volksgrenadiers engaging. That guy was sitting in front of, or standing on the point. Does go down quickly to the conscripts. And with a second conscript squad behind it, well, that Volksgrenadier squad is gone. his retreat and should be able to make it out of there. Center map, we have a flanking conscript squad coming up behind the Volksgrenadiers. Very risky maneuver as it does sandwich itself in between the base and, you know, his enemy. But with no squads there for support, it looks like the conscript squad ends up winning that engagement as we see the Storm Pios and the other Volksgrenadier squad moving up to the north to push away those conscripts. Gets one squad down to 2, other squad follows tow, but it does not take too much damage as it still has 5 men left. Back at base, we do not have medics on the field for Plaguer, so that 5-man squad is actually going to be quite low as it comes onto the next engagement. Left-hand side, conscripts capturing some more territory, combat engineers capturing the fuel, and on the right we see more exchange of territory as it goes from hand to hand. Conscripts now in the heavy cover of the wall. And more conscripts coming up behind them to capture the territory. So Plaguer pretty much dominating right now the territory because of course you can see that he has 7 conscript squads on the field. CaptainSPrice does not have much that he can do against it. He does have the battle group headquarters, but he doesn't have, well, much that he can do with it. Infantry support gun, I guess, would help, but basically he would have needed something like the flak half-track with the mechanized regiment headquarters, but, well, it's a little bit too late for that now. He already made the battle group headquarters. Volksgrenadiers trying to hold the line against the onslaught of conscripts. Down to 2 men on that one. The conscripts get the Volksgrenadiers down to 1 man, forcing the retreat. Combat engineers with flamethrower. Thrower burst goes off, and the Volksgrenadiers are going to be taking a lot of punishment there. The conscripts also get themselves in the line of sight of that flamethrower, adding a little bit of damage there, but the combat engineers are now veteran C2. They push forward, more flamethrower bursts going off, down to 1 man on that Volksgren squad. The remaining Volksgren will not end this engagement, and they are forced to retreat, and Plaguer is able to hold his line. Volksgrenadiers moving around, maneuvering in between conscript squads. We got 2 conscript squads chasing them down with another one cutting them off. Storm Pioneers are trying to capture the fuel, but again, Plaguer is not going to allow him to do so, and he gets yet another conscript squad. So, yeah, I mean, I believe you can call it spam, but, well, it is something prevalent that is effective, so, you know, a lot of people do it. Does go for a Doctrine, and that is the armored assault tactics, so he knows what's coming onto the field as well as having the axis for the heavy columns of the IS-2 and the T-34-85. Storm Pioneers are forced away from the north, and Plaguer will be capturing all the territories now. We got mines getting laid down, apparently. No, demo charge, very sneaky. The sandbags have been taken out from here, but we do obviously still have the heavy cover there, and of course that is the path of approach. 5 Volksgrenadier squads on the field for CaptainSPrice. I mean, looks like he may be wanting to fight, you know, man to man, but he is still severely outgunned and outnumbered. 3, 6, 7. Yeah, I mean, conscript squad down to 1 man, almost gets taken out, manages to round the corner and get itself out of there. Remaining conscript squad is taking quite a beating, forced away, down to 2 men. Maybe loses another one. No, still there and still alive. 2 more conscript squads coming up behind them. The Volksgrenadiers, one of them actually got out of there as it got too low in health. And we have more Volksgrens flooding in that direction. Conscripts coming up behind them. Storm Pioneers going to be repositioning themselves to hold the line. And we saw something hit there. What was that? Is that a mine? Try and spot it a little bit more clearly because I didn't see it, but it's going to be hard. Yeah, it looks like it's mine. So this is a shoe mine. So it may have been a shoe mine that got hit by something. Maybe a stray shot hit the ground and detonated. I wonder. Yeah, I'll try and catch it. Anyways, conscripts holding up in the house, trying to fight against all these Volksgrens. Combat engineers coming up. Flamethrower is going to be heading right in front of it, and flamethrower bursts going off on all the Volksgrenadiers. Volksgrenadiers throwing a grenade inside the house. There goes a hit. Down to 2 men on that combat engineer squad. Needs to get the hell out of there. Conscripts do end up doing the nice little move there about merging. Conscript squad could get taken out there to the Volks. They throw a volley, but it manages to get out of there. And the combat engineers inside are still alive. 2 more guys go down. Flamethrower bursts going off. A lot of damage on the Volks, and the combat engineer squad goes down. And oh shit, we got 4 conscript squads flooding through the field. These Volksgrenadiers are done for. This squad is not going to make it out of there. The other one may make it out if it retreats now. Down to 1 man. Can they actually pick him off? Well, they're taking some shots, but no, it looks like they disengage and go for the remaining squad. So very lucky Volksgrenadier there. That squad is 4 men getting flooded and surrounded. Yeah, there you go. Down to 2 men getting caught in the threats and, well, not threats, but you know. Ooh, nice grenade. Oh, nice dodge there by Plager. And CaptainSPrice trying his best to hold against all these conscripts. We did lose a combat engineer squad, so at least that's something. But yeah, everything pushing forward. We do have shoe mines just spattered around. These conscripts may actually run into it, although does not look like they're going to do so. And in the center, Volksgrenadier squad getting assaulted by 2 conscripts as well. Not going to be making it out of there. Well, I mean, not going to be making it in that engagement. It's going to make it out of there, I should say. I mean, shouldn't jump the gun in saying that. But yeah, I mean, taking quite a bit of damage. So, you know, Volkswagen at base. More Volkswagen at base. What is CaptainSPrice doing against this? It doesn't look like he can do much. I think his tech choice may have been limiting him. Conscript squad taking quite a beating there to the Volks. I mean, even though it is... Ooh, that's unfortunate. Schumann gets hit, but nothing really happens. Even though he is losing most of the engagements simply because of the sheer numbers, he is getting a lot of veterans. We see pretty much all the Volksgrenadier squads for Sprice now veteran C2. Whilst for Plager, we only have 2 veteran C2 conscript squads. Yes, I know that veteran C2 is different between Volksgrenadiers and conscripts because, well, Volksgrenadiers can get up to 5 levels of veterancy, but, you know. Combat engineers once again on the field. Flamethrower getting engaged, and the Volksgrenadiers trying their best to take it out. There are Volksgrenadiers coming up behind them. The combat engineer squad could get detonated there, but yeah, the demo charge there is not getting blown. We do have a guy on top of it, but not the whole squad, so it does not look like Plager is inclined to do so. And the volleys go off. The combat engineer squad down to 1 man is forced away. And the Volks at 2 men are forced away as a conscript squad came up behind them. Ooh, that Volksgren squad was right on top of the demo charge, but it does not look like Plager has line of sight to be able to detonate it, so he didn't. And the Volks are going up for the northern point. Victory points are 293 for CaptainSPrice, while 498 still for Plager. So Plager giving himself quite an advantage here with the points. Oh, nasty grenade goes off, but it actually doesn't do anything since there were so many units there. The damage gets spread out so much that it did not have any effect. It only did a little bit of splash health damage on the squads, but nothing ended up dying. Volksgrenadiers focusing fire on the conscript squads, getting some hits there. Molotov flies, hits the Volksgrenadiers, and the Volksgrenadiers are forced to retreat. Jagdpanzer, oh, nasty move there by Plager. On the retreat, detonates the demo charge, killing off one of the Volksgrenadier squads and severely injuring the other one down to 1 man. Did take out one of the veteran C2 ones, so that is one of the higher veterancies out. But yeah, he goes for the Jagdpanzer, expecting vehicles, and well, I mean, we can see that the T-34-85 combat group is available, but the manpower is not, so I would assume that Plager is probably going to be waiting until the IS-2, since he does not have, you know, the momentum right now. The manpower is going to be very low, and he's going to have to leave squads not reinforced to be able to save enough. Molotovs flying in all directions as the Volksgrenadiers and Storm Pioneers get right on top of everything, trying to close the distance. Conscript squad does manage to throw another Molotov, but again, it misses, and the center point is forced away by CaptainSPrice as Plager just whiffs basically all his Molotovs. We got guys yelling in unison there. And back at base, we still don't have field infirmary, so yeah, I mean, his troops aren't as strong as they could be, I suppose. 10 points for Plager. He has, he has to get the quarter of a point now to get the IS-2. Does have the fuel for it, does not have the manpower, but he is, as we can tell, saving up. We got a conscript squad with 1 man getting hit over here, taking quite a bit of damage, but managing to cap the point. Conscripts over here. Nobody seems to be getting reinforced. Yep. Nobody's gonna get reinforced for CaptainSPrice, as he wants to call in that IS-2 or the combat group, but I'm pretty sure he's gonna be going for the IS-2. Center map, Storm Pioneers engaging conscripts. They are holed up in the house, so it's going to take long. And yeah, Plager does have enough for the IS-2 now as far as command points go. Needs to save a little bit more manpower, which he is doing. So in a moment, we will be seeing that IS-2. Do have the Jagdpanzer on the field, so CaptainSPrice could, you know, fend it off. We'll see if he ends up being able to do so. And the conscripts over here on the right-hand side do get flushed out of the house. And there we go. IS-2 getting called into the field. IS-2 will have quite an ample opportunity here to get a lot of kills. But yeah, that Jagdpanzer, if positioned and maneuvered correctly, can really put a hamper on that IS-2's day. Conscripts in the center for Plager, going for the points. Thing is that CaptainSPrice, as much of a valiant effort as he's putting up here to stop all this infantry, he is suffering the victory point count. He is down to less than half, slightly less than half, of course. But yeah, I mean, Plager is consistently and constantly just keeping him double or triple capped. So the game can end very quickly before he has a chance to bounce back. IS-2 slowly lumbering up to the north. Looks like he's going to try and push those Volksgrenadiers. The Volks get shot, but actually whips it completely. IS-2 taking aim. Oh, they're clumped up. They're clumped up. Jagdpanzer gets a shot. Shot flies, actually hits the other Volksgrenadier squad, which retreats. Jagdpanzer takes a nasty shot there. That is high explosive anti-tank shells, heat shells. Oh, this might be too aggressive here for CaptainSPrice. It looks like he's going for the IS-2. The IS-2 is right there. Oh, no. Oh, no. Well, he's got some shots on it, and he's going to get the rear armor, but the IS-2 has an ample opportunity here to circle strafe the Jagdpanzer. Jagdpanzer taking another shot, managing to get it nailed there, and it looks like he may be able to make it out of there. Jagdpanzer goes on to pursuit, takes a shot. The IS-2 unable to return fire just yet. More shots fly. Oh, he's going to go straight forward. Can he actually get the kill? Jagdpanzer getting shot back in return. The conscripts are there. Do we have anti-tank grenades? No, we do not have anti-tank grenades on the field for Mr. Sprice. The conscripts push forward, but CaptainSPrice, and I meant Plager, CaptainSPrice, he eats the bluff, basically, is what I'm saying, and he retreats from the conscripts, as of course, if anti-tank grenades were available, he would have sacrificed his tank, but from our point, we know that that was not the case, and he could have easily gone for the kill. Still no anti-tank grenade, so yeah, a missed opportunity there for Sprice, and the IS-2 was severely low in health. CaptainSPrice did go for his Doctrine, and that is the Elite Armor Doctrine. Give him the boosting signal to reveal enemy vehicles on the minimap. Emergency repairs, the heat shells that we saw. IL-2 Sturmovik coming in for a strafing run. Panzer IV, Panther, and King Tiger can be upgraded. Okay, that's not for the Jagdpanzer. Okay. Nasty shots there on the Sturmovik, but it's still alive. Up in the north, conscripts pushing forward. We finally do have the Mechanized Regiment headquarters on the field for Sprice. Gets himself a flak half-track, and with that, he's going to be able to shot down all the approaching conscripts very easily. The flak half-track is quite good at doing that. And we see the signal relay getting activated there for Mr. Sprice. Like, can we actually view it? Like, if we do this, yeah, it shows him the IS-2 all the way back up there. So, yeah, he doesn't have to worry about it too much. And the Sturmovik's just circling around, getting shot by the flak emplacement at base. And the Jagdpanzer is, you know, it's fine. Did lose a Volksgrenadier squad at some point, and we have... there it goes. Yeah, crashed somewhere. It's over here. Sturmovik ends up crashing down by the southern strategic point, and that's about it. Flak half-track pushes forward. Push a little bit more forward to be able to support. Conscripts Ura away. They're going to get themselves inside the house, but inside the house, which is going to get shot there by the flak half-track. And from what I was informed, it looks like it is a glitch, that thing that happens where it tears down and sets up while still on the move. It looks like it happens when you give it an attack order rather than a move order to the point. It starts setting up, you know, once it gets in range, and, you know, It's weird. Bit of a glitch there, but, you know. I'm not going to throw accusations of whether players are exploiting it or not. I'm just saying it is a glitch. It does happen like that. It's not just a visual glitch. Volks Grenadiers shifting position to try to stop the approaching conscripts. IS-2 getting some shots off there on the Flak Half-Track. The Flak Half-Track stopping the approaching conscripts. The IS-2 pushing forward. Flak Half-Track needs to get out of there. Oh, nasty shot there to the Flak Half-Track. Yak Panzer returning fire, and the conscripts do have an AT grenade going off. There goes off on the Yak Panzer, and the Yak Panzer cloaks itself to break a line of sight, although it doesn't really do that. But it took the AT grenade to the face and stayed alive, so it's fine. Plague's just taking massive damage. His infantry is severely damaged. He does not have the manpower to... well, actually, he does, but I mean, he is going to be calling in another IS-2. So he does not have manpower to spend on reinforcing his troops. He needs to call in the other IS-2, and I think with that, he may be able to end the game. CaptainSPrice managing to stabilize at 168 points, putting a double cap finally going off against Plague. Plague still sitting at 483, so he has all the time in the world, which he is utilizing right now. Looks like he's going to call in. Oh no, T-34 Combat Group. That is actually a brilliant choice there by Mr. Plague. These guys are going to be much more maneuverable than a second IS-2. They also have the sheer ability to ram, sacrifice themselves, and potentially get a critical on the engine or something on the Yak Panzer. Flak Half-Track isn't going to do anything against anybody, and that's obviously also 2 additional guns that shoot at vehicles rather than just an additional one. So yeah, that is a brilliant choice. There we go, Yak Panzer trying to stop. We see the flanking T-34-85s going straight at the Yak Panzer. The Yak Panzer instantly backing off, turning its sights on the T-34s. T-34 getting shot. The Yak Panzer is in a lot of trouble. Rakuten Warper would have not gone amiss here for CaptainSPrice. He could have built one quite a while ago and have an additional gun here to support his Yak Panzer, but he tried to hold it with just that, and the T-34s are going to punish him. He's getting some nice shots in there. The heat shells have been activated. He's getting a lot of damage in there, but the T-34s are going to flank him. There goes the ram, gets the crit, damage on the engine, and the Yak Panzer is going to go down. No way that he stands a chance. He did eliminate the one T-34 that hit him, as his gun is still online, but the T-34 over here is, well, just simply going to outmaneuver it and shoot it in the rear. Destroys the engine. The Yak Panzer is a sitting duck, and what can Sprice do? He does not have the ability to call in anything heavy. He has you know, the Panzer IV battle group that he could call in, but he does not have the fuel for it, nowhere near that. Flak Half-Track goes down. IS-2 now sits in the base, takes some damage, but he is reigning supreme. He could spend the munitions to upgrade, you know, the Shreks on his Volks Grenadiers and have at least 2. Would probably help them out, but he was saving it or not utilizing that because obviously he was fighting against a lot of infantry. But it paid off for Plaguer, I mean. Down goes the supply Half-Track. IS-2 taking aim at the retreating infantry. Take some more shots. The battle group headquarters is currently converting to fuel. But yeah, I mean, not much that happened here. Rear armor shots going down on the T-34. We finally see the Volks Grenadiers upgrading with their Shreks. CaptainSPrice trying as much as he can to fight here. He may be able to pick up one of these 2 vehicles, but I think the game is over anyways. Rakuten Warfare finally getting produced. A little bit too late now. Rakuten Warfare. It's a Rakuten Warfare. Oh, jeez. The Sturmovik attack just targeting the infantry there, wrecking them. And yeah, the T-34-85 and the IS-2 make it out of there. They took a bit of punishment, but they're fine. And we got a flood of conscripts up in the north coming up for a flank. Volks Grenadiers getting cut off from their base. They're going to have to retreat if they want to stay alive. And CaptainSPrice is going to turn to focus. Yeah, he retreats, runs the gauntlet with 1 squad down to 2 men, down to 1. Can he make it out of there with those volleys going down? No, he can't. Shrek gets dropped. That's a free thing there, and CaptainSPrice throws in the towel with the Shrek getting dropped, and that is game. So anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed the game. If you have any positive or negative remarks, go ahead and leave them in the comment section below. If you have any replays you want to send me, go ahead and send them to the email that I will put in the description. But otherwise, I hope you guys have a great day. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.